We were made for relationship. It's been like that since day one. The current time is testing, but the God who made us is not gone. When God first put this whole world in place and looked down from three-seated throne, the first assessment of people was that it's not good to be alone. Which makes sense, as our God is relational, a truly vital notion, as it shows us a love of relationship is what put this whole thing in motion. The word says we're made in God's image, which many of us find confusing. That's why pictures of God as old man with long beard is the height of much casual musing. Reflecting God's image is less about look and more about how we connect. Love, compassion, art and culture, in all these things God we reflect. We like to form our little groups, family, location or team, politics, music, religion or class, everyone chasing the dream of belonging to something, not being alone, of finding a sense of community. Right now we're apart, aware of the fact that no one has natural immunity. For many, it doesn't get harder than this, isolation from those that we love. It leads to questions of where God fits. Is there really control from above? How could a good God allow this, the whole world under pandemic strike? How could God be so distant and not care what our pain feels like? Those are legitimate questions, but the truth couldn't be more different. God is here in the midst of the pain, and in no way has he become distant. Even further than being near, God's also been through this pain. If that causes an eyebrow to raise, allow me a verse to explain. The closer you are with someone, the more painful it is to part. The sense of loss you feel is a sign that they're close to your heart. So if Father, Son and Spirit are connected since time first began, tearing the link of that bond is a pain that really is none deeper than. The core of what we Christians believe centered on one person's life. Every life matters, but one life alone could ever free us from strife. That's why all the world over, the gospel message finds connection. People find hope in Jesus, in his life, death, and then resurrection. But where's the isolation in that? Where does God know how we feel? When we see Jesus up on a cross, isolation has never been more real. Jesus hung there between two worlds, not a point of connection at all. Rejected by humans, now his Father saw him as every wrong since the fall. Every killing, abuse, every rape, every theft, he carried all of its weight. The man who'd only ever shown love took on every drop of our hate. In that moment, there truly had never been anyone who'd ever been so alone. But the tragic turned triumph as all of his pain meant that we could come home. Jesus became true isolation so we'd find connection again. Took on the wrong of the whole world that day to repair things between God and men. Every man, every woman who trusts in the cross and the victory God won over death can never be truly cut off from the God who gives us every breath. So take heart in this current moment. It's okay to be finding it tough. Just know that God is with you, his love and his grace are enough. While there's nothing good about viruses, could we see some good in our lives? Chipping away at the idols of life so that something better survives? The Bible says you will be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That means things we took for granted will one day be redefined. What better time for renewing than a time like isolation? A change in yourself, your home, your street, your town, your city, your nation. A time to show us we're not enemies. We're in this thing together. A time to remind you to grasp hold of life as none of this lasts forever. A time to value the people we love and look out for those in need. A lonely heart, a troubled soul, a hungry mouth to feed. A world who really need to know the love of God. To know you're not forgotten, not rejected, not hated, not odd. That you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and you have a clear invitation. To know the God who made you and loves you and offers true transformation.